Today on the channel, San Diego Comic-Con 2026 is in full swing, and today we're covering WWE Mattel Part 2.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is San Diego Comic-Con weekend, and we continue on with these toy news recap panel reveal news videos, and today we're back to WWE, we're back to Mattel for part 2. We covered in a separate video, check it out if you did miss it. We checked out their panel, we checked out the reveals. Now we're diving into some of the stuff we saw in the cases from preview night onward here. As I'm filming this, it is Friday morning of San Diego Comic-Con weekend. Be very interesting what we see throughout on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If we see anything else from WWE Mattel, they always sneak a few extra things in the cases or maybe some announcements come out. But we'll cover that in a future video. We got a lot of videos on the channel as well. Another WWE one, as I said. We'll have a Jazzwares AEW / miscellaneous one. We did a collect major one the other day already for all the big rubber guy news. We're going to have miscellaneous toy news on a lot of the properties. We did G.I. Joe already. Check that one out. And then we will probably do a Marvel Legends and a Masters of the Universe video reveal. So make sure you're sticking around, checking out all those videos on top of all the other action figure reviews and everything else under the sun, as you guys know by now. Make sure you subscribe to this very YouTube channel. Dangerously close to 60,000 subscribers. Probably in weekly purchases this week, we'll announce a giveaway for everybody for 60,000. Should be a good one, Tom McFarland, so we'll get to that. So make sure you subscribe, as I always do say. But let's dive in. Let's go through these. Let's give some thoughts. Let's look at some of these pictures. Got to thank our friends over there at Wrestling Figure News. Justin Kendall, good brother, lives down the street for me. Wish I could be there with him at San Diego this year. It's a whole rigmarole. More on that on the podcast, Todd McFarland. And then I got to thank our good friends over there at Ringside Collectibles. Use code Kyle, save 10% for using the images on these here. But let's dive into it. Let's start it off. And let's start off with a little bit of the elephant in the room, maybe for a lot of people with San Diego Comic-Con, as we did not see anything for the Mattel Retros. There's no retro announcements, no retro figures. What does that mean? We know shipping right now from Ringside is Greatest Hits Volume 1. Does that mean maybe we'll see a Volume 2? Is there going to be such a thing? I guess we don't know, as we did not hear any of this, and I guess it could be one of those things where, hey, we're just going to save that for our August announcements or something, because as I said in the last video recapping the WWE stuff, they blew me away. I said temper the expectations based on the last couple of years. I would say they went pretty darn hard this year, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. But we didn't see anything from Retros. And then another concerning one, WWE Superstars. As of now, we've seen nothing with WWE Superstars. Is the line over? Is it dead? Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks in the toy news. I even said I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't show anything at San Diego Comic-Con, because we're so far ahead. And when I say we, North America, the United States, most of the world, I think, outside of like the UK for the most part, are so behind on Superstars with the distribution lag, the distribution issues, that I feel like they're not announcing Superstars temporarily so the world can catch up. We can finally get those through the distribution centers, get back on a consistent schedule with those. I don't know that for sure, but that's what my gut tells me. On top of that, you lay in the weeds a little bit with those Superstars because we know the Masters WWE Universe have returned. We're going to have a couple of sets of those. Once again, UK already has them. Should be hitting Walmart hopefully sooner rather than later. Tying into Mattel and the He-Man movie this summer. A little synergy. That's the word of the San Diego Comic-Con, I guess. So my gut tells me Superstars laying in the weeds so people can get caught up. Plus, you got the Masters WWE Universe figures coming in. They're kind of taking some of that slot for a little bit. And then hopefully the ship will ride and we'll continue on our Superstars journey in the future. We'll see what ends up happening there. But speaking of Masters WWE Universe, we did see The Rock coming in, looking good. I guess King Grayskull, is that who he's supposed to be? The final boss in a lot of ways, and we know what's up with that. So we saw him in the background there. You see Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. We already saw them. They're coming with the Ring, I believe, a Walmart exclusive, I believe, once again. I think this whole line will continue to be a Walmart exclusive. So we got those. Demolition, very, very fun. You get all three versions there. And Demolition feels like they almost walked out of He-Man in the Masters universe in a lot of ways. Obviously, Hogan, Cody, and then we've seen in the past as well. Should be hitting very soon, I would have to imagine. If not already in maybe some areas, we'll see where that goes. But the hits keep on coming. We're going to keep going on to this. We talked in the Toy News video a couple of days ago. Bret Hart Greatest Hits Legend up on the Target website. Hasn't went live yet, but it is there. We did see good old Jimmy Hart, of course, the Army Builder for that one. The Army Builder, the Build-A-Figure. Getting my lines confused. The Build-A-Figure for that one. Love this early Jimmy Hart, too. I love the print on him. A very, very cool one. I'm here for that. Now, we did get Mr. Iguana. We talked about that in the last video as well. There's going to be a lot of Mr. Iguana stuff, as we know. I talked a little deeper about it earlier in that other video, so check out that video too. But I wanted to talk about the Ultimate Creations exclusive a little bit. Now, it looks fabulous. You get all those extra heads, you get all the extra hands, you get soft goods, you get Layeska. You get a lot of fun with this one. There's a lot of good stuff here. The glasses, don't want to forget those as well. However, there's a lot of people up in arms, and I'm not against that because $66 Mattel Creations made to order. So you got till, I think, mid-August to get your order in over there at Mattel Creations. But $66 for an Ultimate, what are we doing here? What is going on? And it's not shipping till September 2027. I don't know what that exactly means. Is that a future tip of the hat of future price increases on Ultimates and, of course, Elites in the future? Is that what that means? By September of 2027, will Ultimates at Walmart and Target be around $60 with the 66 price point? Mattel Create, I don't know. I don't know what that means. It just seems strange, and I didn't hear any kind of announcement or any talk of why that price point. I've seen more Ultimates with other stuff. Obviously, a ton of new tooling on this one. I get it. You get all kinds of new tooling here, but I don't know if it's enough for that, and it feels like we're tooling future Mr. Iguana, Elites, main events, and all points in between based on this one. It's almost like this one is going to fund some of the other stuff. I don't know. I don't like it. I hope this is just a one-off asterisk off to the side, that this does not become the norm over there, because I think you're going to turn off a lot of consumers in the future if that's the case. Feel free to sound off in the comments below. I would say one of my favorite sleeper surprises of all the announcements San Diego Comic-Con was Typhoon and Earthquake, aka John Tenta and Tugboat, the 2-in-1 Coliseum collection. I think this is extremely fun. I love that Earthquake looking like he's just working in the yard, waving to his neighbor or something. And then Tugboat's always welcome around here. And then the Natural Disasters, obviously all-timers. This is a set I definitely have to get 2 sets of. There's no doubt in my mind. Kudos to the Mattel team there. Have to pick those up at ringside when the time does come. We did see first time in the line on the panel, part of the main event line, and I talked about that. We'd see a lot of first time in the line in main event. We've seen that historically. It continues here. Jordan Grace, her first time in the line last time. I wouldn't think last time, but I guess you never know. You never know what may happen there. Mr. Iguana, going back to that, I forgot to talk about it. I do love the packaging on this one. This is fabulous, fabulous packaging art. I love what they did there. It's got a little bit of a dinosaur feel to it. It's a lot of fun. However, is that part of that price increase? I don't know. I don't like to think of that because I throw my packaging away. So I hate to say, oh, I'm paying an extra $15 for packaging, $5 for this, that, or the other. That does make me a little bit nervous, but the packaging is good. I will say that. We also saw a Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide Wrestling ring. So we're going to get a ring for our AAA figures. Now, AAA apparently are going to be available everywhere. I figured for sure it would be like an Amazon exclusive line. That's what I did in my predictions video. I said, it'll be an Amazon exclusive line. Apparently, it's going to be at Walmart, Target, Amazon, and all points in between. Is that too much? As much as the hardcores love some AAA, AAA is on fire. These AAA figures are not shipping till fall 2027. So we got over a year wait for these figures. That's a heck of a long time. Will the excitement for AAA extend all the way a year plus from now? It's riding high right now like Mr. Iguana, but like I said, Mr. Iguana feels like he's cooled down a little bit. What is going to happen here? What's going to happen a year from now? And I think it is a dangerous move taking this worldwide. I think it would be better as an Amazon exclusive, a ringside exclusive, Target, Walmart, whatever it may be exclusive. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to put my business hat on. If the rest of the world is ready for these figures, you'll always have the hardcores buying them, but can you get people outside of it? There's already so much WWE programming. How many WWE fans take that next step into the NXT, into the AAAs and things like that? That's a whole business model. They got to put their business hat on and investigate, but it's going to be very interesting to see where that ends up going. So more in the future. We did see Danhausen again. Of course, Danhausen was kind of the charm of, I guess, the panel. He was the guy that stole the show. Outside of AAA, he probably stole the show because he had so many figure reveals, as we predicted. Once again, Stevie Wonder could have saw that coming, as we said. Yep, Ray Charles, he could have saw it too. And you know, Stevie Wonder isn't really blind. We've talked about that many a times on the channel. But I thought that did look good. That Danhausen, all the Danhausens looked really good. We saw La Parka in the case there. Once again, an Ultimate La Parka, a ringside exclusive, which is a major coup for ringside. One of the most famous luchadors of all time, especially for WCW fans. He really rose to the top of that heap as the chairman of WCW once upon a time. Very excited to see that. We saw a late addition to the case, Big Boss Man coming back to the Monday Night Wars, this time in full-on Boss Man persona here. And he does got the little leather jacket over the top, just ready to serve some hard times once again. No new ground really broken with this Big Boss Man, but it does look good, and I can imagine some people picking up that one for their collection. John Cena, the hits keep on coming. He's got his yellow gear going on here as well. His San Diego Comic-Con gear, you could almost call it. We're getting all the John Cenas throughout the years. We've seen that, and we're definitely getting almost every appearance, if not every appearance, by the time all things are said and done, of John Cena, his final run. So we did see that. We saw the X-Pac Ultimate Edition with Tag Team title. Got the soft goods jersey. Always good, look good there. That's a good looking X-Pac. Multiple heads, all the usual bells and whistles. Monday Night Wars Walmart exclusive. Then, what I'm very excited about, Axe and Smash in, of course, WrestleMania 4 gear. I believe that's what that is. I love that they got the blue sleeve on Smash. And then you got Axe with that, you know, it's Axe face paint, but it's not the traditional face paint we usually think of when we close our eyes and think of Axe. So love to get all the Demolition figures, and I love that we're even getting main event Demolition figures. And the cool thing is the gear that you have from the Elites and the Ultimates should fit on this, and you can mix and match, do some of that if that is your thing as well. The more you know, and maybe you got multiple versions of the Ultimate. You display one in gear, one without gear. You got extra gear sitting around. You stick it on these guys if you need to. Bronson Reed always has really, really good figures. His latest in Elite 127, coming back here in a main event style figure. A little leaner Bronson Reed. Before he left for injury, he was leaning down. Thought that figure looked really, really good. And we're going to talk more Bronson Reed in this very video. AJ Lee, we got her coming back here in the Elite line. This is an amazing looking figure. I've always felt that Mattel did a really good job with AJ Lee, and I think this figure looks really good as well. We got The Rock, the final boss himself, coming back to the line. You always got to pepper in some rocks. And I talked about in the other WWE video, a severe lack of Ultimate Warriors this weekend. I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know if that means the Legends deal is over or something's going on there, or is everybody warriored out? I know that can't be. Nobody's going to be warriored out. That's impossible. That's impossible. It's like being, it's like being a fan of Duke. It's just not possible, as we know. So we got The Rock back again. Armando Estrada, we knew he was coming, of course. A lot of people excited about that. He is the Build-A-Figure. Makes sense to put him in the same series with Umaga. It gives you a little bit of meat on the bone to try to complete that Build-A-Figure. So great to see that in the collection. Joe Hendry, say his name, and he will appear in part of the WrestleMania wave with Armando. I'm not sold on this Joe Hendry head sculpt. We'll have to see how that looks in person. Be fun to compare that one against the ringside unsanctioned figure, which I think we've unboxed 3 of on the channel. But we are getting our first ever Joe Hendry figure. That should be cool to see. We're getting John Cena once again. This is the one that ships. I want to say it's December. Is it December this year? His last match version. We did see that there. They're showing that off at San Diego Comic-Con. We saw the Tribal Thief, of course, the Shoe Man. I do like this one. It is Bronson Reed, a little bit bigger Bronson Reed than his main event, but it's when him and Roman had that hot blood feud over some sneakers. And if somebody steals your sneakers, ooh, that's a bad day at the office. Reminds me of my time in Oz, Todd McFarlane. Yes, Oswald State Penitentiary. I don't like to talk about it much, except in these videos from time to time. But man, if you got rolled and somebody took your shoes or your flip-flops, man, you don't want to know what happened to you. You're just a pushover at that time. You got to fight for your slippers, got to fight for your shoes. And that's what Bronson and Roman did once upon a time. Like the looks of this one here. Sheamus, once again, we talked about this before. Got the color changing technology. I guess that's going to be the new thing. For me, I think it is very cool, but it's something I will absolutely never use. I don't see myself getting Sheamus out and like putting him here and saying, I gotta go get an ice cube. And I run down here with an ice cube, put it on his chest to make it look like he's bruised and battered up. I don't know. It's very cold down here today. We had the AC guy here. It's a whole story. It's super cold. If it gets really cold down here, maybe it'll change on its own without ice cubes. I'm not sure. But very cool to get Sheamus, especially knowing Sheamus is leaving the WWE. Could be the last Sheamus figure we ever get. Going out on a pretty high note with new technology that we also see in the Chucky Liv Morgan 2-pack that's coming I guess, later this year. Perfect for Halloween season, as we'll get the blood on the face on that one, which I thought is really cool as well. I just would rather have a second head with blood or a second chest piece or something with bruised or battle damage, kind of like Battle Armor He-Man or something. I don't know. But it's an interesting concept. We'll see how that works out. One I'm extremely excited for, but it's like a 9 out of 10. Normally it'd be a 10 out of 10 for me, but it is Terry Funk from the Monday Night Wars. A lot of rumors around this one for quite some time. We do get the WCW Hardcore title for the first time, which is very fun. Love the new Terry Funk shirt on this. Love the barber stripe pants, kind of the Virgil pants, maybe. Todd's picking up the wrestling lingo over there. He's got some of that going on. I love that. I just wish we could have got a new head for Terry Funk. This one needs to be put to pasture. It looks like he's got a dip in. And he's kind of a pile of mashed potatoes in the face. I feel like Terry Funk deserves a new head, and we all want new Terry Funk head for sure. But it does look good. I am definitely picking up multiples of these. I got to have all the Terry Funks in my collection. Got to celebrate them while I can, and I should be celebrating Dory Funk Jr. That's due in the mail any day now here, part of the Build-A-Figure set. And speaking of Build-A-Figures, I believe Stevie Ray NWO edition, I'd heard clamoring this is the Build-A-Figure. That's a pretty solid Build-A-Figure. Have to imagine a lot of people want to build that because they want Stevie Ray in their NWO collection, which I don't doubt it. You got to put him in there. Him and Dennis Rodman coming this San Diego Comic-Con, as we saw. But it does look good. Stevie Ray's ready to go. We did see more Street Fighter figures, and very cool that Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods coming to my neck of the woods here very soon too. Maybe I'll meet up with them. We'll see. But they are in the Street Fighter line as Akuma for Xavier Woods, and then DJ is Kofi Kingston. So very cool to see those two there. Could be their last two figures, depending on the timing of stuff. Once again, Street Fighter is, as we know, a Walmart exclusive, so be on the lookout for that. We got M. Bison Rock Final Boss Edition version 2. A cool enough figure here. Once again, to get the player 2 variants, got to get the most out of your molds, got to get all the money they possibly can. We know what's up with that. We got Mark Henry as Balrog, which is an interesting one. I guess kind of makes sense a little bit there. You could have put Omos in there, or maybe even Obafemi, but maybe those guys weren't quite ready at the time for that. I'm not sure. But anyways, we got Mark Henry coming, part of Street Fighter. And then we got HBK as Vega, which is an interesting idea along the way. Now, this is a big one. This is one of the big news things here. We got Ultimate Defining Moments. We're going to have Dominic Mysterio and CM Punk. Two very iconic looks for both of them. Love the masked head on Dominic Mysterio. CM Punk, very good. One of, if not, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but top 10, possibly elite of all time, is the Straight Edge Society CM Punk. So I love that we're getting a Defining Ultimate Moments. Just what does that mean price point? Hopefully the price points are the same as regular Ultimates. They're not $66 like Mr. Iguana. I guess we'll have to wait and see there. But for Defining Moments fans, you should be pretty excited about that to be able to add these to your collection. Not a bad piece of business. Starting off very hot with Dominic and CM Punk, as we do know. And some new head sculpts to boot for them. That's always fun as well. So slam dunk on that and keep it in the Ultimate flair here. We got Penta Ultimate around the corner. Love the packaging. Would look very good on a shelf with Mr. Iguana. Those two would pair up pretty good, I do think. But Penta, I don't think he's ever had a bad figure going all the way back to the AEW days. He's had so many great figures, and that continues here with this Ultimate version. Have to imagine a heavy hitter seller. Can't wait to pick up that Penta, add that to the collection. Now we dance on over to the main event line. This is extremely cool. Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan 2-pack. Have we ever got a 2-pack of those two together? Was there an LJN 2-pack once upon a time? I know maybe that was Hogan and Hillbilly Jim. I can't even remember. But very cool to get those two. I'm shocked this never happened in the Classic Superstars line, in all honesty. But you get that green title belt that Sheik had, and it passed over to Hogan. But you get to reminisce about that time when the Hulkster won his first title. Very cool to see that in a main event line. Giving a little Legends love to the main event Showdown series. Very fun. Then we do get two ladies here. Of course, former tag champions in Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Once again, this makes sense. I can see this as a good Showdown pack, and that's exactly what it is. And then we got one, I don't need any more LA Knights really in the main event style, but the CM Punk, I love the gear on. So that'll be another one. That'd be one of those ones, maybe long game. I don't know what I do, but I really like that CM Punk figure. I really wish the CM Punk was an elite. I think the color combination is awesome and something very different for him. We talked about this the other day. We got Zack Ryder, Chelsea Green 2-pack. I'm not sure. Obviously, they're married, but Zack Ryder, Chelsea Green never had anything to do with each other on WWE TV. And I think Chelsea and Matt maybe one time on TV together so far. I'm not sure. The only kind of thing I can think of is they're both United States champions because Chelsea comes with that belt. but I wish Zack Ryder came with his version of the belt too. Is what it is, I guess. So we got that one coming. We got this is a very interesting one. I believe this is going to be one of those WWE Fanatics exclusives. They've talked about that before. I think Shawn Michaels is the first version, but we got a Cody Rhodes coming, and it looks like it has an authentic WWE ring canvas little square. I'm not sure if that comes random or if that comes with every single figure that you buy, but that is something different. That is something cool, and it's a new avenue to collect, of course, from the WWE Mattel line. Outside of the Walmart, Target exclusives and all that, now we're going to start getting Fanatics exclusives. So get your money ready. It's going on all over the place, as we can see. We also got Triple H in that same line. I believe we saw a very similar one back in the Elite line once upon a time. Now we're getting the updated one here. It is still an Elite, but a little bit better design, I think, for all the uniform and stuff from that very cool WrestleMania moment for old Triple H once upon a time. Hits keep on coming over there with Becky Lynch, and this might be my favorite Becky Lynch figure of all time. If I had to do a top 5 Becky Lynch, that one might be right in the mix there. I do love the looks of the soft goods, and I like how you can pose her with her hand up in the air, the black shades. A very solid Becky Lynch, if you ask me. Love the looks of that. We also saw The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and The Rock. I believe a future 3-pack we're going to see. Really celebrating some of the Attitude Era, or I guess early Ruthless Aggression era, more like it. We're seeing some of that going on. Kurt Angle, another guy, we got a lot of looks we still need to get, and we're getting a few right here along the way. Jelly Roll, of course, we weren't satisfied with just his LJN. We got to get that Elite Jelly Roll. He is coming around the corner. Say what you want about Jelly Roll. It's just not my thing at all. I know somebody was telling me in the comments that, well, you should like Jelly Roll. You like country music. And I was like, whoa. Jelly Roll is not country music. Garth Brooks isn't country music to me. That's a controversial take. Country music to me is basically outlaw country, or your like Buck Owens, hee-haw type stuff. Your Roy Clarks of the world, your Dangerous Don Riches. But it's more the outlaw country for me personally. I don't like the Garth Brooks. I don't like the Brooks and Dunn. I definitely don't like the Jelly Roll or any kind of stuff that passes. Kenny Chesney's. Call it country, call it what you want, but that's not my country. So don't put me in that box. Don't put me in that box. And I'm just not in the Jelly Roll box. Nothing against him. I don't really know a whole lot about him, but it's just not my cup of tea. Whoop, whoop. Exactly, Todd McFarlane. We do see Randy Orton once again in those big oversized shirts. How can we get shirts that fit Randy Orton? I know he's got that lean kind of body going on here. I wish they would thicken him up. He needs to be as thick as a milkshake. That's what he needs to be. A custard milkshake from Culver. Shout out to Culver, sponsor of the channel. But I hate how Randy Orton looks in these baggy shirts. It always looks really weird to me. And we got another one here, and he's going to RKO everybody along the way. We got Demonita, isn't that what it is? Him and Mr. Layeska. They're gonna square off. It's Finn Balor's puppet against, and then. I'm breaking up laughing here, but this Finn Balor face is crazy for Finn Balor, and I guess he did do that in that match, but he's got his tongue sticking out. It just looks just over the top here. And I'm just looked out to the side, and it caught me. It caught me in the funny bone, I guess is what it did. But we got that around the corner there. We see AJ Styles peeking out in the back. A lot of people excited for that AJ Styles as well. That's a good looking AJ from his final run, we'll call it as well. We got JC Jane coming for the first time in the Elite line. Her main event figure, basic figure once upon a time, very hard to get. That was kind of the start of the very hard to get females, her and Gigi Dolan. But now we're getting her in Elite, and she's throwing up the horns for Ronnie James Dio, I can only assume. A guy that has kind of went down the totem pole a little bit. He is currently a tag team champion. It is Braun Breaker. He's getting a Fear the Spear shirt. He's got that dog in him, as we do know, Todd McFarlane. But I would have assumed we would have got an announcement of an ultimate version of him here at San Diego Comic-Con. Same thing with Oba Femi. I think too soon, though, but I thought maybe they could have squeaked in a reveal of Oba Femi Ultimate. Have to imagine that'll be maybe a year from now, if not sooner. But Braun's been all over TV for a long time. I'm shocked we're not getting an Ultimate Edition Braun Breaker. I'm sure it'll come eventually, though. They always come eventually, just like me, Todd, just like me. Jade Cargill back again. Only one Jade. Got that little line in her eyebrow from that nasty gash. Looking pretty good. Looks like they got a little work to do on that head sculpt, though, if you ask me. Back in the background, a figure that's a little bit lost, Ilya Dragunov. I think he's just Dragunov now, if I'm not mistaken, with the U.S. title. A very, very good-looking figure. That is another one of those sleeper figures that I think people are sleeping on. Can't wait to see that one when it comes into hand. Universal Monster stuff, we talked about that earlier. You got the Invisible Man, the Werewolf, all of that. But we did get some accessories for John Cena. I like that we got different looks for him. So makes sense. You can't see me, the Invisible Man. It writes itself, really, at that point. Charlotte Flair coming back again. We were due for a new Charlotte Elite. It's been quite some time, it feels like, here. And she's definitely changed her look since her last Elites. So excited to see that. Love that we're still getting that Xavier Woods with that huge lampshade around his head. Once again, down to the wire with those guys' figures, but apparently they are still coming. So can't wait to see that Xavier here in the future. Cody Rhodes, talked about that one before as well. Got a new masked head. Cody always putting these heads out. You know they're going to use this multiple times as well. You got to get the most out of your molds. They've done that on that Ultimate mask numerous times. Have to think we'll get this more times in the future. If it's not him wearing it again in different matches, they'll make it for, the main event style and so forth and so forth. So we'll see where that ends up going as well. The cameraman, Steve Austin, is a cool deep cut. Very cool because it is Steve Austin. It could be Steve Austin, or you can have it as a cameraman. I got to think a lot of people that do fig-fed setups and picture photography stuff, you could use a cameraman. So this one could be a hot seller just based on that fact. You buy 3 or 4 of them for your setup. Could be a thing. Could be a thing. Sheamus again. We got the full-on look at his Ultimate right here, so we don't need to talk about that again. Liv Morgan Ultimate, a bit of a sleeper. A lot of people excited for that Liv figure. Looks pretty good. Some new head sculpts for her there. Not sure of the 3 heads, which one I would prefer to use. CM Punk looking good. Once again, I like it when we get CM Punk in off-the-wall colors. Talked about that green main event. Looked really good. I like this blue. This blue one really, really does pop. Another CM Punk. I mean, he feels like he's getting an Ultimate almost every week at this point here. Io Sky, Io Shirai, once upon a time. Io Sky, we're getting her as part of the Ultimate days. Very good. Once again, long overdue. You get the trash can, which is quite the accessory for her as usual. You get the women's title belt as well. Got the crazy head with the finger points. We can do the whole thing now. We can do the whole thing. Pair her with your Rhea Ripley. Choose your own adventure there. Looking pretty good. We see Cody, once again, Ultimates, no stranger. It'll be interesting when the dust settles who will have the most Ultimate Edition figures. Have to think it's going to be Hogan, Cody, or CM Punk. One of those 3 will be the leader as far as Ultimates go. Monday Night Wars, Goldberg looking very, very nice. My dad, one of his favorite wrestlers of all time. Say what you want about Goldberg, but he connected with non-wrestling fans. And Goldberg will be fun with the new articulation sooner rather than later. We also saw Ultimate Kane, apparently going to be a Target exclusive. So I'm assuming, we know what happens when you assume. You got Mr. Perfect, we got the British Bulldog, and we got Kane in the Legends series. And then we got Booker T for the Monday Night Wars series as well. But this Kane, a former ringside exclusive in the Ultimate forms, a very hard to find figure back in the day, a very pricey figure. I believe, didn't it get re-released in the Vault series, if I'm not mistaken? Maybe, maybe not. But now we're getting it back out there again. Gotta get the most out of your molds, gotta get the most out of your money. At the end of the day, Mattel, all these companies, they would rather have the money than eBay having the money. So that's what they're doing. They're putting this Kane back out there for everybody. Talked about the Booker T before as well. I love this Booker T, but I would have rather had a King Booker. Just personal preference for me. But it looks like the Kane is coming late 2026. Booker T coming early 2027. So mark your calendars. Set in your calendar right now. Back to the Monday Night Wars here. Another one that's been rumored for quite some time. I'm ready for this one. Sister Sherry looking very, very good. I'm excited for that to pair up with the Harlem Heat figures. That'll be a fun one. And much like the Harlem Heat getting all those repaints in different colors, they can do the same thing with the Nasty Boys, and we'll probably see that as well. But you could get Sherry in a lot of different looks as Sister Sherry. So I wouldn't be opposed to a few more in the future. We'll see where that goes. Sounds like that wave is coming early 2027. That also features that Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy shirt. An interesting look, no doubt. Main event series, or not main event, Saturday night's main event. How about that? Not main event, Saturday night's main event, the Walmart exclusive line. Once again, they got them over in the UK. Don't got them in America, at least as of yet. I think people already find them in Canada, too. But we are going to see, I believe this is Series 3, Series 4 for next year. Seth Rollins, Money in the Bank briefcase there. Looking good. Once again, you got to get the most out of your molds. We're getting a lot of stuff. I don't know. It'll be interesting how this Saturday night's main event series goes, if it'll be extra special. It felt really special getting that Hillbilly Jim, but now when you throw in Seth Rollins, it's just kind of feels like just a regular Elite. Doesn't feel a Saturday night's main event. And I fully understand. It's an iconic Saturday night's main event moment. He gets injured, that whole thing. So we do have that. We also got the return of Batista, and I've said this for a long time. As big of a star as Batista was for the WWE, plus his movie stardom, I'm shocked we don't get more figures of him. But we are getting one here for Saturday night's main event. A very old head sculpt on that. Would have liked to seen that updated. Is what it is. And no line has ever turned down a Jake the Snake Roberts. We're getting Jake the Snake Roberts in the line. It looks like basically the same Jakes we've had recently, just repainted differently. And as usual, you get the snake. And then we saw some of the ones that we've talked about since WrestleMania as well. A lot of people excited about this one. This one came out of left field for a lot of people, myself included. It is the Firefly Funhouse 3-pack. At first, I was kind of blown away by the figures, and then I looked a little bit more. It's that Roddy Piper Piper's Pit. It's basically repainted, reused from that with some new tweaks and some differences, which really makes me think we're going to get a lot more stuff in the future. Could we get a barber shop based off of this? Could we get a flower shop? That doesn't make a lot of sense. A funeral parlor. There's a few things we could get, and I'm fully expecting maybe every single year we'll get a different set. Could be, and this is coming to Target as well. Now, the only thing I don't like about this set, I like it. I'm a day one buyer. It feels like it's not the iconic versions here because they've done the Fiend so many times, but we're getting a brand new figure in the Fiend final form, so that is really good. But part of me wishes the box set was like the iconic versions of his time. This isn't the most iconic Fiend figure, but I understand it. You got to put something different in here, and we do get that. The Muscle Man one is great to see. I'm shocked it took this long to get the Muscle Man. I got a custom I made very easily with extra parts of some different ones. And then you get the straight up Bray Wyatt, which probably isn't too far from just a straight re-release from, I think we got him 2 different times. Looking forward to my collection, but I think we got him 2 different times already. So that'll be fun to have there. I think that is a slam dunk. I think that'll be a very popular set. And I know a lot of people say, well, I'll wait for it to go on clearance. And we know how that goes as well. Defining moments, we did see, of course, New Jack. Cannot wait for that. I think that's coming in August, if I wasn't mistaken. That's going to be really cool to see. It looks like Defining Moments Triple H coming back for a return visit. He's got the old Saxon denim and leather, brought us all together, but it was you that set your spirit free, or set our spirits free, more like it. Triple H edition. I'm here for that. And then we got that Naomi, which looks really cool with the caution tape, all of that. That is a very cool looking figure. We'll see. That one's coming probably at the end of the year, maybe, something like that. Back to Target this time for Legends. This is a fun set here, but a lot of people saying, where's Haku? Where's Haku? Obviously, he does not have a Legends deal. There's not an agreement or something along the lines. But we're getting the Steiner brothers here. And I love old school Steiner brothers. This is where I first came into the Steiners. Yes, I came into them around this time. Love the title belts with them too, especially that old school TV title. And then you got the old hand puppet there for Rick Steiner. Mike Rotunda as the Build-A-Figure is very cool. I want a Captain Mike with the little captain's hat, but I love the Varsity Club too. It was an interesting time. That's where I first ever heard of Kevin Sullivan. That's where I first ever heard of Mike Rotunda as a little kid. It was from, of course, the Varsity Club. So very cool to get that. Really would love to have a Dr. Death and a Kevin Sullivan to go with him. And we'll see, maybe in the future. And it's not out of the question. We got so many surprises from Mattel on this with the Buddy Roberts and things. We could get some of those in the future. We got the Tonga Kid as well. Feels a little bit just unfinished there without his partner in crime. But we do get the Undertaker as a consolation prize. And for most people, could be the heavy hitter of the set there. Got a huge oversized cowboy hat that would make Waylon Jennings blush, I think, along the way. We did see a brand new ring every year or so. We got to have a new ring. It'll be Mattel Creations. It'll be on ringside. It is Paul Heyman, the Wise Man, a new Paul Heyman figure. And then you got the Raw ring, I guess, from the Netflix debut. You got the Mattel Creations logo. You got all the logos on it. And then I believe they said it was faux leather ring pads on this. So a little extra attention to detail. White ring ropes, too. Comes down to it, though, how many rings do we need? I need to figure out a storage solution. I need to get good friend of the channel, Gage Octane, over here to help me build something. But I need to get like a shelf built for rings, and I can put 2 or 3 on the shelf and just put rings on them. Maybe that's what I need to do. We'll see what ends up happening there. But I can imagine some people will be after this ring. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. We did see a few other friends here from, of course, the pay-per-view series. We talked about him earlier. It is Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels. That Shawn Michaels, when I see that, I think of the classic Jakks Ruthless Aggression style figure, Once Upon a Time. Eddie Guerrero, we never turned down an Eddie Guerrero along the way. Looking good there. Umaga, we talked about it earlier with Armando Estrada. We've had quite a few Umagas, but makes sense there. Part of the Build-A-Figure wave, we do get Harvey Whippleman. That's a nice surprise as well. Probably has to be a Build-A-Figure, I understand it. But we get Dr. Harvey Whippleman. Wouldn't be shocked to see him maybe in the future in a different colored suit. That would be an easy repaint, maybe a 2-pack or something along the way. That would look good. But we're finally getting Sid as well. Once again, you got to get the most out of your molds. But we're getting Sid in the iconic blue. So we're going to be able to celebrate WrestleMania season with that. And then we get the Canadian Dream, son of a security systems technician, Kevin Owens. I always thought that was fun. Very cool to get that in that line as well. Makes a lot of sense. And then we got CM Punk coming. Always love this era of CM Punk too. He's cashing in there. You got that very iconic shirt there, which I do own and I wear on the channel from time to time. And I always love CM Punk in bright colors, and I love him in the really dark colors, especially. And this one is very cool along the way. And I will say to Mattel team, I always love it when they put up that display with the plastic there. Also forgot about our old friend Diesel there with a little different looks to him here. We've had a lot of those as well. But I love it when they give us that like plastic, like the glass case where it's like very clear and you kind of see through it. It looks really, really nice how they had all these guys set up in that. I always thought that was fun. So a lot of fun stuff going there. I should mention the Firefly Funhouse set is up for pre-order right now, as is the Ultimate Warrior Target Legends Ultimate Edition exclusive. Not sure what's going on with the Warrior, though. It makes me a little concerned here that we didn't get enough Warriors announced, but we got Warrior coming back here. This one just reminds you of the Hasbro 2 Ultimate Warrior all day. Got to have this one. Got to have multiples of that one there. But that's it. That is the preview night. That is what was in the case, at least as of Friday morning. Wouldn't be shocked to see some more stuff this weekend. I'm hoping to hear something on Retros and Superstars, maybe more Masters WWE Universe, maybe some more details there. We'll just have to wait and see how that all ends up shaking out. And we'll be around to cover it when that does happen. As I said, a lot of toy news videos going on the next couple of days into next week as we recap everything and anything from San Diego Comic-Con on top of everything else. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you follow the channel, like the videos, all that kind of fun stuff. Check out YouTube channel memberships. Check out Patreon. Support the channel. Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available where podcasts are found with video cast on YouTube. So for another WWE Panels reveal, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
I never seen you looking so gorgeous as you did tonight. I never saw you shine so bright. You were amazing.